Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. It is a balmy minus 12 degrees Celsius today, and I'm thinking of cycling. I do my son's paper route every day because he goes to school, and I use this Rollfast bike, my old antique bicycle, and the wheels are starting to fall apart on it. Here we've got three broken spokes at the back, maybe four. And the wheel wobbles terribly, and I can't ride it anymore. So I'm taking it into the bike shop today to get new wheels for it. I could just replace the spokes that are broken, but I think they're all going to break. I had the chain break on me. I had to get a new chain put on. So I got this heavy duty chain. So yeah, new wheels coming for the bicycle today. So I'm going to take it one last ride downtown to the bike shop with these wobbly wheels and get them replaced. It'll be like a new bike. I do still have trees out on the benches. We haven't had any really cold temperatures this year. We've gone down to minus 17 as being the lowest. So I think they should be okay. I didn't want to bring them inside because they have a nice layer of snow on them. And yeah, if I brought them inside, the snow would melt. And then if I brought them back outside, there'd be no protection for the, the base of the tree. So the snow is a good insulator that kind of helps moderate the temperatures between daytime and nighttime. I've had all these trees out on the bench for the entire winter before, so I'm hoping I have good luck and they survive once again. I just can't fit them in the greenhouse, and I'm afraid if I bring them downstairs I'll upset their natural rhythm. They're kind of used to the cold out here, and I don't want to bring them inside and they'll start breaking dormancy, and then I'll have to bring them back outside. And so yeah, I've had good luck. These are all fairly hardy species, thujas, the American elms, spruce, larches. What else do we have here? Silver maples, poplars, my apple tree. Few maples here, Manitoba maples, they're super hardy. Norway maple, and I think there's a black willow in there. So yeah, all super hardy trees. It looks like it's below freezing in the greenhouse. I just kind of look in between the frost here and you can see the surface of the pots looks frozen. So that was kind of expected. I don't think it'll be much below freezing in there, but it will definitely freeze over when it gets down to, we've been getting minus 16, 17 at nighttime now. So I'm off cycling now in the Rollfast Bicycle. One last trip with those wonky wheels. I rode the bike with its wobbly wheel down to the bike shop. So the new rims are in. They look really good. They're aluminum rims and they're kind of a box section rim. So double walled. They should be good and strong and lightweight and perfect for delivering papers. I'm going to start today with a little pruning to my Ginseng Ficus. It's been growing really well, and there's a lot of shoots on the inside here that need pruning out. There's a lot of shoots, like 2 or 3 shoots coming off one branch from one spot, and shoots that are crossing each other. So I'm just going to do a little bit of pruning and sort the structure out. All right, I'm looking at the tree now. So here's a branch here that has 1, 2, 3, 4 branches coming. Actually 5. There's another one down below. 5 branches coming from one pruning point. I'll show you a close-up of that. Here's a look at that branch here. So it was pruned off here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's another one below. 5 branches coming from one spot. If I let that continue to grow like that, this would become a really thick here. You get inverse taper on the branch, and you get a big, thick, ball-like structure here. So, a lump, I guess, is what I'm saying. So I want to prune. This branch here is kind of crossing over the middle, so I'll take that one out. Like that. I've got a fairly woody branch up top here, so I'll keep that one. And the one that's directly below, I'll remove that one. It's a newer branch, like that. So I'm down to 3 now, and I've got to decide This one here kind of crosses over top of the branches over in this side, whereas this one, it kind of grows in open space. So I'm going to remove this one like that. So now my branch comes up, divides from one big thick branch into two slimmer ones. I'll just take the tip off this one also. There. There's some branches on this side of the tree, on the left-hand side. You can see here I have my thick kind of trunk coming up. I've got a branch that crosses over the center of the tree down there. I'm going to take that one out, like that. This thick trunk-like structure comes up. I've got two branches going from the same spot here. This one is the nicer branch, so I'll remove this one, like that. I follow that branch up, and then I've got it dividing here. I've got a big thick horizontal branch underneath. I've got one growing above and one over to this side. So I've got to decide what I want to keep here. So I do want something growing upwards, so I've got this one. And I don't mind the one growing horizontally. It's getting a little long. There's a side shoot coming off of here, so I could prune it back so it's fanning out more from the main center of the tree. So I'll prune this one off to here, like that. There's one kind of crossing everything in the middle. I'll take that one out, like that. And I still have one above each other here, and I'm not sure what to do there. Interesting. I'll look from the front. All right, so there's the front. I'm just seeing what's going on there. Well, that upright one, I don't know if you can see it, but it looks good as a leader for that branch. And so does that thicker one underneath, looks good too. Tough decisions. Maybe what I'll do is I'll clean out some of the structure under here first. There's a lot of crossing branches, and that might kind of reveal more of the main branch structure of the tree, and then I can make better decisions. I'm looking from the front of the tree, and I'm just looking for branches that aren't in a good position. So, for instance, this trunk has a whole bunch of little branches, new branches that are growing out on it, and most of them aren't very nice. There's one, the first one I'll prune off is there's one coming off and then crossing everything else. So crossing over the structure of the tree, so I'll take that one out for starters, like that. Fairly long one. There's another one growing up on the inside here. Similar thing, growing up from the inside of this branch and then crossing everything, so I'll take that out too. There, that's cleaning that area up. Now there's one, a low branch that's coming straight out towards the viewer or the front of the tree. I'll take that out because there's a better, more sideways branch above it, almost directly above it. So I'll take that one out. And then I've still got a lot of branches coming off from one spot on this sort of upright trunk. Well, there's one kind of coming straight out at the viewer here again, or the front of the tree, so I'll take that off. That cleans that area up a bit. And I think this one is still too, it's coming out the front too much still, so I'm going to take that one off. And I have another one kind of back further that fans out better. So that's making progress. I can see some of the branch structure now from the front. There's another branch here that comes straight out towards the front, kind of an eye poker branch. I'm going to take that off, like that. What else have we got? There's a few smaller branches that are coming out down low. So I have kind of my trunk line coming up and then my major upright trunks here. And I got all these little small new shoots coming out down below, and I don't think I want that. I want to see some of the trunk. So I'm going to remove those. It's nice to have branches, but they have to be in the right place. So now that reveals I have 2 branches coming out from the front here, one in front of each other. And again, it's nice to have branches, but you can see that they cross in front of the trunk that's behind it. So it might look better without those branches to get a cleaner front to the tree. I'll leave the one. I'll leave this one coming out the front because it's on a nice angle. I'll take the one off that's directly behind it here. There. And there's one crossing in front of this trunk line. I'll take that one off too. So that one there. I'm making progress on the structure of the tree, cleaning it up. Still a lot of work to go. There's another branch right here that's coming straight out towards the front, and it's over top of a lot of other branches. I'm going to get rid of that one. Just a little new shoot. There's another one here, a young shoot. I don't want that one. I've got my trunk line coming up here. I don't want any branches down low, kind of cluttering up the lines of the tree. Now, back to this front branch. I have this branch, which I decided to keep, and then there's one straight above it, which also crosses in front of this trunk. I think I'm going to remove that one. So here I go, like that. This one branch out front, I don't know if I should keep it. It crosses in front of this trunk line behind it. And I have a leader coming out here for that trunk line now. Tough decision. I should probably remove both of these and just keep my one leader, but that would clean up so you could see this part of the trunk here. Boy. But then, I don't want the tree getting too high either. I'll just prune a bit of a stub off here from last time I pruned it. Like that. I'll leave it for now. That's a decision I'll make in the future. So off to this side here, there's a bunch of branches growing from that trunk line that I need to clean up. So I'll do that now. I'll just pick my best branches. Yeah, I'll get rid of this one. And these are just new little branches that are popped out since this tree's come out of dormancy. Just doing a little tip pruning, getting some ramification, keeping the branches more compact. I think that's going to be it for now. I think that's quite a bit of pruning on this little tree, but it's got all these branches going the right directions and kind of balance the vigor of the tree, so I think it'll continue to grow quite nicely. Here's a look at the tree from above now. So you can see the structure is cleaned up a lot. Everything's kind of fanning outwards. Everything's kind of getting light. So that's good. Here's a look at the cutting room floor. So a fair amount taken off for such a small tree. There's a look at the tree from the front now. Yeah, I think that's an improvement. Yeah, we'll keep working on this canopy in the future, but I still want, even though it's a short, compact tree, I still want flowing lines to it. I don't want, a cluster of branches just to kind of fake a canopy in. I want everything to be flowing and a nice structure. Yeah, getting there. It's looking good. I'm going to go back to working on my temple pieces, my cement pieces. In the last video, I made this face out of cement that goes on the side of my temple. So today I'm going to cast some more faces. And this time I think I'll try it a little differently. In the last video I cast the face and then I cut these lines in with the saw. This time I would like to cast them as separate blocks. And that way, as the roots from the ficus grow down into the temple, it'll shift the blocks. The roots will grow in between blocks and it'll tear the temple apart just like real life. And I think that'll be cool. So what I'll do, I'm going to still use this plasticine cast, or this mold, and I'll fit it to the face, and then I'll cut the mold into the sections. So I'll be casting each section at a time, and I'll cap each end of the section with cardboard or something to contain the cement, and then when I put it all together, it'll make the face. So that's what I'm going to try today. So I'll actually cut my mold into the brick-like sections and cast each little piece separately. Hopefully it'll work. We'll see. For step one, I'll refit the mold to the face here and make sure I've got it firmly pressed down to capture all the details in the face. Push the ear in, capture the ear detail. Let's take it off. Oh, that got the ear really nicely. Look at that. Really sharp and crisp. So I'll do the other side now. I just fix my mold up here. All right, I've got my mold made. So my next operation, I was going to slice it into the sections. So I'll do that now. And what am I going to slice it with? Ideally, you'd have like a hot wire or something that would just slice through it, but I don't have that. Maybe the X-Acto knife. Be tough to get a straight line. Maybe a knife. A knife is probably the best. I'll use a kitchen knife. My wife isn't at home right now, so I'll use the kitchen knife and make sure I clean it after. So let's try that. I've got my nice sharp German kitchen knife to do the cutting with. I'm going to move this so I'm cutting on wood. I don't want to dull the knife blades, so I'll move my turntable out of the way. I've got to make sure I get these straight, these cut lines. So the first one is right at the eyebrows. So if that is the center line of the face, kind of about there, I'm going to cut perpendicular right at the eyebrows, which is about right here. All right, here I go. Not sure how this will work, but there it is. There's my first cut. Looks pretty good. The second cut is just above the bridge of the nose, so right about here. Here I go. Second cut. Third cut is right in the middle of the mouth. Now I want to make these equal sections. So I may go, I don't know. I think I was a little low on that one. I'm going to go slightly below on this one. Like that. And then the next one is up right about here. Right like that. And then one final one up here. There's a phone. It might be the bike. All right. That was the bike shop. My bike is ready to be picked up. It has its new wheels on. So wow, look at the mess I'm left with here. So next, because I had to do a lot of cutting, I think I've deformed all these. So I'm going to get my face back out and just put this kind of together and kind of get it all in place once more. This is a disaster, isn't it? such a total disaster, this. However, you know, like I said, you don't learn unless you try and do things. Okay, I'm pushing this back down now, making sure my face is in place. I was just worried that it was all kind of deformed or something. Hey, get back up there. Okay, that has got it. Now I'll take it off once more. There's my face. Take my sections apart carefully. So now I have to cast each section separately, and this is going to be a real pain in the neck. So I've got some cardboard, and my plan was to kind of stick the plasticine to the cardboard and then put another section on top, tip it up, and pour the cement in. That's a lot of preparation work for something I'm not even sure it'll work. But I'll try it. I mean, I do want these stones to be separate. I don't want it, you know, one piece like this one. So I'll get cutting. I better put that knife back before my wife gets home too. Luckily, she doesn't watch my videos. Otherwise, I'd probably be in even more trouble. Okay. Yeah, so there's part of that. And then I've got, so that casts that piece, and then I've got to put a piece of cardboard on top too. Okay, so there's my mold number 2. You can see that there. Okay, so I'm going to put these in order. So I've got 1, 2, next is 3. I've got all my molds made now, so I'm thinking I better just, you know, try maybe 2 or 3 at a time. I think the cement will harden too much before I get all of them filled. Okay, that's going to have to do. I'll set that side to dry. Let's try this piece now. This will be a little harder to do, I think. Especially when my cement's hardening up already. Okay, there's block number 2 formed. Let that dry. I finished casting all 6 cement pieces, so they're drying, getting harder. So I think we'll come back later on in the afternoon and see how they turned out. Try stacking them up and see if it looks like a face or if it just looks like a mess. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So I'll see you in 2 or 3 hours. I went and picked up the bike from the bike shop. So here's my new wheels. There's the rear one, and there's the front one. So really, really nice. I'm really happy with them. Here's what kind they are. They're Demco. I don't know who makes those, but nice. So they're aluminum rims, aluminum front hub. I think it's a Joytech front hub. The rear hub is steel because that has a coaster brake in it. And it reused my original gear that I had, so it's the same ratio. There's my heavy duty chain I have on it. So that should be good. It's nice and smooth. Rides fantastic, doesn't wobble back and forth anymore. It was nice to sit on my Brooks saddle once again. Really comfortable. Getting nice patina on it. Yeah, great saddle. Love it. I got my exercise in today. I rode the bike uptown, walked back, walked uptown, rode the bike back. I did the papers in the morning on my mountain bike. Yeah, so that's good. I got my exercise in for today. Even though it's still about minus 10 degrees Celsius, it feels really nice out. The days are getting longer. Won't be long before we see some signs of spring. It's time to head back inside now, and we'll check on the temple pieces and see how they turned out. That'll be exciting, so let's go. I'm back in the plant room in the tropics, and my Ficus microcarpa that I pruned back recently and repotted, it's starting to burst out with all kinds of new buds and branches coming out all over it. So that's really exciting. It'll be really nice to see it when it's all in leaf once again. There's a view of some of the branches with all the new shoots coming out on them. So very exciting. Yeah. It's time now for the big reveal of my cast pieces to see if they go together to make a temple type face. So here I go. I don't even know which pieces are which anymore. Well, let's start. Let's get the cardboard off first. I'll peel the plasticine back. And hopefully I'll be able to figure out how it goes together. I should have numbered them. I should have put a number on each piece of cardboard. Okay, so I'm taking the cement out of the mold very carefully. So that's the hair. I can see the texture on it. That's probably not in focus, but yeah, that's the hair. So that's the top piece. Let's open this one next. So here's one of the more complex pieces. So I'll take the cardboard off first, and I'll save it because I might be able to reuse this cardboard. I'm sure I can. There's the piece. And now I'll peel back the plasticine. Okay. I might even be able to reuse these plasticine molds. So I'll save those too. That is the eyes. You can see the top of the eyes there. Okay, a little piece of cement broke off at the end there, but that'll give it that ancient temple feel. So that is the mouth and the tip of the nose. So I think that goes under here like that. Let's open this piece next. Yeah, so that goes on the bottom, which I can't put. All right, I'll come up front and have a look at it and see if it looks like a face. All right, I'm up front here. So this would come to here, I think. I don't think I have these in the right order. I don't. This one comes here, the nose. Like that. And maybe a little trimming required there. Let me lay it down flat and we'll see. All right, I figured it out. The chin goes like that. So this would have to be lifted up. Maybe I could put a bit of plasticine underneath to kind of lift these pieces up. Yeah, so that's how it goes together. There's a look at the two faces. So this one definitely looks more finished. However, maybe when I get this one put together, it'll look quite good. It will look like sort of a crumbled temple. So it is nice to have them in separate pieces. Then if the roots of the ficus grow down around the face, it can break apart like a real temple. You know, I'll just cement them together lightly, so if roots go in between the cracks, it'll open it up and crack that cement and look very authentic. So I can see there's a lot of finishing work around here. There's a lot of excess material. You can see it's not really the shape of a face. But I can do all that trimming work and then cement it together. And we'll see how it looks. I'll do that tomorrow. It was really fun experimenting around with the molds today, making my face in separate pieces. I got my Ficus microcarpa or my Ginseng Ficus pruned up and looking good once again. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.